They thought Earth was silent, primitive, harmless. So when mercenaries landed on the frozen mining moon of Drask 9, they laughed. They're just humans, they said. But when the screams started, when seasoned killers begged to be extracted, you could feel it ripple through the galaxy. Something's wrong with humans. And it's too late to stop it now. The black Voltari war cruiser Ravager's maw creaked as it breached orbit over the frostbitten mining moon of Drask 9. Commander Krexos Varl stared down at the colony through the viewport, yellow slitted eyes narrowing. Primitive architecture. Thermal vents exposed. No anti-air defenses. He sneered. They're just humans. Beside him, Tactician Wren adjusted the data slate. We detected no shield grid. Communications are silent. Power output is minimal. Either they're already dead, or they want us to think they are. They don't know we're coming. That's what matters, Krexos growled. Deploy Black Talon and Iron Spine squads. Full combat suits, weapons hot. Sweep and clear. We take the thorium, torch the tunnels, and leave nothing breathing. The dropships screamed toward the surface, black holes cutting through the frozen sky. The mercenaries emerged like shadows, clad in obsidian armor, plasma claws and repeater rifles glinting in the moonlight. They spread across the colony perimeter in perfect formation. There was no resistance. No sound. No movement. Krexos stepped out of the command pod, talons clicking against the frost-layered metal. He surveyed the structures, half-finished domes, collapsed scaffolding, mining cranes frozen mid-swing. Where are the humans? He muttered. They should have panicked by now. Squad Iron Spine moved into the first tunnel. Blackness swallowed them. Krexos tapped his comm. Iron Spine, report. Nothing. 5 minutes passed. Black Talon, enter. Retrieve Iron Spine. Wren's voice cut in tight. Commander, that's a mistake. The second squad entered. 1 minute later, they screamed. Krexos heard it over the wideband, static, shrieking, crashing metal, then a single voice, garbled and broken. They knew we were coming, the tunnels breathe, they breathe. Signal lost. Krexos's jaw clenched. Deploy all squads? No more games. I want that colony stripped clean. Wren hesitated. Sir, we should regroup. Set external perimeters. Use drones first. We are not waiting. We're not some spineless traitor guild. We're the Voltari. We conquer. Move. 10 squads stormed into the mine complex, heavy boots pounding against ice and steel. Krexos followed, plasma pistol drawn, tails swaying with controlled fury. The interior was colder than it should have been. Lights flickered sporadically. Pipes hissed steam, leaking from fissures that hadn't existed on satellite scans. Layout doesn't match the topography, Wren whispered. Commander, this tunnel wasn't here before. It's a damned mine. They dig new paths. Keep moving. 2 corridors ahead, Squad Harn was gone. 1 moment present on biosensors. The next blank. Their last video stream showed nothing. Just white walls. One of the mercs had started crying before it cut out. Krexos stopped. Status? Total blackout, said Wren. We lost over 30 soldiers in less than 12 minutes. They were ambushed. No. There were no shots fired. No burn marks. No blood trails. It's like they were removed. A low groan echoed from the walls. Metal flexed. Steam belched through overhead pipes with unnatural rhythm. Krexos pointed his pistol into the fog. Humans can't do this. Wren didn't respond. An emergency flare burst ahead. Krexos rushed forward, stepping over a melted helmet. The walls were different here. Smoother. Curved. As if the tunnels had been reshaped by machinery far more advanced than the mining gear listed on Earth's registry. Then he saw it. A message scorched onto the tunnel wall in charred metal. We dig. You die. What? Krexos took a step back. They're primitives. Colonists. They're not capable of this. Ren's face was pale under the tactical visor. Then why are we afraid? Before he could answer, a scream tore through the comms. Squad Goral! There, the walls moved! Gunfire burst through the channel. Then silence. Krexos turned. Pull back. Full retreat. The tunnel behind them was gone. Gone. Where there had been a wide corridor of steel and frost, there was now a solid wall. Seamless. Silent. I saw this place from orbit. These tunnels were fixed, Krexos hissed. Unless they weren't tunnels, Ren muttered. What? They weren't digging minerals, he said, eyes wide. They were designing the battlefield. Above them, the ceiling cracked. Ice fell in sheets. The air turned electric. A drone zipped past. A human face flashed on the screen, smiling. Then static. The drone self-destructed mid-air. Krexos grabbed Ren's arm. Find an exit. There is no exit. I think they lured us. The lights blinked. Once. Twice. Then the walls began to whisper. A low vibration crawled across the floor, into their bones. Thousands of tiny voices. Not words. Not screams. Just sound, unholy, crafted to crack nerves. Krexos roared. Shut it off! We're not broadcasting. It's embedded in the walls. Another message appeared, etched in frost. Not a colony. A casket. From the far end of the tunnel, a figure stepped forward. Not armored. No weapons. A human woman in a miner's coat, face covered in thermal gel, staring at them with frostbitten eyes. She spoke softly. You brought weapons to take from us. We brought knowledge to bury you. Krexos raised his pistol. You're outnumbered. Outgunned. She didn't blink. You're outplayed. The floor beneath Krexos cracked. A trapdoor activated by pressure, weight, and localized ice melting, a system so complex no Voltari tech could replicate it. Ren leapt aside. Krexos fell. The last thing he saw before blacking out was the woman's breath in the air, curling like smoke. She said one word. Deeper. And the darkness took him. The cold hit harder the deeper they moved, a dense, bone-cracking silence pressing against every breath. Ren adjusted his visor settings again, but it didn't help. No matter the thermal calibration, the humans stayed invisible. The bioscanner showed flickers, heat trails that ended in dead zones. It didn't make sense. They're not using stealth suits. They're not even moving fast. It's like they know where we're going before we do, he muttered. Krexos growled beside him, wiping frost from his pistol. That's impossible. They're miners. We said that before, Ren said, voice low. Didn't help Squad Harn. Krexos didn't reply. He just gestured for the next unit to advance. 5 Voltari soldiers crept ahead, weapons raised. The tunnel was eerily pristine, untouched. No signs of struggle, no blood, no scorch marks. Just clean white ice, almost glowing. It looked surgical. Purpose-built. A soft click echoed from beneath one of the soldiers. Everyone froze. The merc looked down. The floor swallowed him. Not caved in, swallowed. A panel collapsed and mechanical jaws gripped him, dragging him into darkness. He didn't even scream. Just a choked gasp before silence. What was that? Krexos snapped. Pressure trap. Not random, Ren said. That was calibrated for Voltari mass. We didn't just walk into a kill zone. We walked into a designed one. The remaining squad turned to run, but the tunnel behind them closed. Not collapsed. Closed, like a sliding door they never saw coming. We're being herded, Ren said. No, Krexos hissed. They're desperate. This is panic. Ren turned his helmet toward the commander. They haven't fired a shot. Krexos opened his comm. Ravager's Maw status? Only static. Then a voice. Not theirs. Female. Calm. I see. Why are you here? Krexos blinked. Identify yourself. You speak conquest. You speak credits. You speak blood. But none of you ask what we were doing here. What we were building. You were trespassing in Guild Zone space. No. You were warned not to follow Earth. You ignored it. The voice clicked off. The channel stayed open, but no more sound came through. Trace it, Krexos barked. I want her found. I'm trying, Ren said. But the signal's bouncing between thermoregulators. She's using our own tunnel heat against us. More static. Then another voice. Male this time. Childlike. Would you like to play a game, Commander? Krexos nearly dropped his calm. What the hell is this? Old Earth recordings. Spliced AI mimicry, Ren said. They're not just fighting us. They're in our heads. Suddenly, all the lights along the walls pulsed red. Then blue. Then off. Panic erupted in the rear column. One of the mercs screamed and fired blindly. His plasma round struck a pipe, exploding steam and shrapnel down the line. A second shot hit another Voltari in the leg. Chaos. Krexos stormed toward the gunner, ripped the weapon from his hands, and slammed him against the wall. You shoot again without order, I leave you here. The gunner was shaking. I saw something. I swear to the stars, it looked like me. Staring back. It smiled. Krexos snarled and shoved him aside. Delusions. Gas. They're trying to scatter us. We're doing that ourselves, Ren muttered. Biosign readings flickered. 4 more dots gone. No alarms. Just missing. I'm seeing movement, Ren said suddenly. But, Commander, they're beneath us. What? There's a second layer. A full substructure. I thought it was bedrock, but there are shafts, rooms, maybe even full chambers down there. They've been expanding vertically. Then we hit them now, Krexos said. Blow the shafts. Crush the foundation. Ren hesitated. That's assuming this isn't what they want. Krexos pushed past him. I'm done with ghosts. The squad moved toward a lift tunnel. Manual crank system, archaic, but active. They descended. The chamber they entered was unlike anything in the Voltari databanks. Mining equipment, yes, but restructured. Laser borers refitted into mobile weapons. Drill arms bolted onto synthetic walkers. Machines meant for extraction had become weapons of war. Ren stepped back. They turned their tools into soldiers. A figure stood at the far end of the chamber, partially obscured by vapor. Human. No armor. Just a coat. She wasn't armed. Commander Krexos, she said, unblinking. How deep are you willing to dig for victory? Krexos raised his pistol. You're finished. She shook her head. We haven't started. The floor exploded. Hidden mines detonated, not in random bursts, but with precision. 2 Voltari were vaporized. 3 more thrown into the walls. Krexos hit the floor hard. His ears rang. When he looked up, the woman was gone. A second voice cut through the noise, this one broadcasting through every comm. We told you not to come here. You thought us weak. You thought the cold made us fragile. But cold preserves. And we remember. Krexos gritted his teeth, hauling himself up. Rally! He shouted. No one responded. He turned. Only Ren was standing. Bleeding. Shaking. They knew. Every route. Every corner, Ren whispered. This wasn't a colony. This was a weapon waiting to be stepped on. Krexos snarled. Then we step harder. But the walls began to move again. This time, not just ice. Machines emerged, slow, hulking figures made of reassembled mining rigs. Their drills spun. Their lights blinked red. No pilot visible. They're unmanned, Ren said. No, Krexos growled. They're ghosts. The machines advanced. The mercenaries didn't scream. This time, they were silent. Ren limped after Krexos through the narrowing tunnel, blood pulsing from a burn across his thigh. Every step echoed too loud, too sharp. Behind them, half their force was missing, some crushed, some vanished, some driven mad. Krexos didn't speak, didn't ask for casualty reports. He just kept moving like a man too furious to stop, rage shielding him from fear. We need to fall back, Ren said. Regroup. Rescan. We don't even know where the main reactor is anymore. We press forward, Krexos snapped. They bleed. They just haven't yet. They've taken half our battalion without showing their faces. Krexos turned, fangs bared. Are you afraid of ghosts, tactician? I'm afraid of plans that don't work. Ren shot back. You want the truth? I think they want us to press forward. I think every time we move, we're stepping deeper into their design. Krexos stared at him a long moment. Then he kept walking. Commander, a voice whispered through their comms, human, male, deliberate. You're very loud. Krexos froze. The voice continued. Did no one teach you that sound travels better in ice? Identify, Krexos demanded. But the voice only chuckled. You've brought drills, guns, fire, fury, but no silence. You are predictable. That's why we win. Static snapped across the channel. Then another voice, this one female, softer but heavier, more tired than threatening. Do you remember what your kind did on Eldest Station? On Relithus Crescent? We followed contract law, Krexos said coldly. You followed credits into blood, the voice said. And now you've landed on a grave. The walls shook. The lights pulsed a sickly orange, then went dark. Emergency strobes triggered, brief flashes that turned the tunnel into a stuttering nightmare. Krexos raised his weapon. Hold formation. A dozen red dots blinked to life on his motion tracker. Then 20. Then 50. They're closing, Ren said, aiming his rifle, shoulders tight. And then the lights came on again. But the tunnel was empty. Krexos lowered his weapon slowly. His breath steamed in the cold. They're in our systems, Ren whispered. No. They're in our minds. From behind them, boots slammed against steel. Krexos spun. Two mercs sprinted into view, helmetless, wild-eyed, weapons discarded. They're us, one screamed. They're us but wrong. A burst of gunfire cut him down. The second one hit the floor, skidding toward Krexos. He clawed at the commander's leg, face contorted in terror. They have my face, he rasped. They showed me dying. I watched myself. Over and over. Krexos stepped back. The man convulsed. Blood poured from his ears. Then he went still. They're mimicking, Ren said. Faces, voices, behavior. They're puppeteering our dead. Krexos turned toward the far end of the tunnel. A shape stood there now, tall, armored in scavenged gear. It wore Voltari armor, black and gleaming. But the way it moved was wrong, too smooth. Too deliberate. It raised a hand and waved. Commander, Ren whispered. That's your gait. Your stride. It stepped forward. Krexos raised his rifle. Don't, Ren hissed. The figure opened its mouth. His voice came out. I will not run, it said. I will not yield. I will burn this colony to ash. Krexos fired. The figure dropped, helmet cracked open. But there was no head inside. Just wiring. Mirrors. A camera lens that blinked once, red to green, then died. They're not defending, Ren said. They're studying. The realization hit both men at once. This was a test, Ren said. No, Krexos said. This was bait. They turned to run, but the tunnel had changed again. The path forked. The map scrambled. Ren's interface glitched, then froze entirely. Motion detectors are blind, he said. Then the floor groaned beneath them. A hum built, deep, mechanical, resonant. It wasn't coming from the walls. It was coming from below. They ran. A second hum followed, higher pitched, vibrating through their armor. EMP pulse? Ren guessed. Resonance disruption, Krexos said. Targeted. They're cooking our gear from the inside. One by one, their rifles shut down. HUDs blinked red. Comms cut. Then, from the far end of the hall, light returned. A single figure stood silhouetted, bare skin smeared with thermal paste, miner's coat shredded and patched with scrap. Mira Halden. She held no weapon. Her hands were open. Calm. Krexos stepped forward. You started this. No, she said. You did. 100 colonies before this. Your kind brings destruction wrapped in contracts. You're not soldiers. No, she said. We're worse. Behind her, the floor opened. Not collapsed, peeled back, like a blooming steel flower. Below, a chasm. Lights flickered in the depths. A hangar? A pit? A grave? Ren stared into it, breath caught. What is that? Our memory, Mira said. Our warning. Our message to the galaxy. You can't kill us all, Krexos said. She nodded. No. But we can make you remember. The floor cracked under their feet. The whole tunnel groaned and shifted. Mira stepped back into the dark. Run, she said. The last thing they saw was her silhouette swallowed by the pit. Then everything fell. The drop didn't kill them, but it tried. Krexos hit hard, his shoulder cracking as he rolled across metal and stone. Ren landed nearby, groaning through clenched teeth, blood streaking down his brow. The tunnel above was gone, sealed behind tons of shifting architecture. They were entombed now, deep in the belly of whatever nightmare the humans had built beneath Drask 9. Ren staggered to his feet. You still think they're colonists? Krexos rose slower, spitting blood. I think they've become something worse. A soft pulse rippled through the floor, like breath. The metal vibrated, not with malfunction, but rhythm. Deliberate. Alive. Krexos glanced at the walls, noting carvings etched into the steel, names, dates, coordinates. Not random. These aren't fortifications, Ren muttered. They're records. Markers. Every mercenary force that's ever disappeared near Earth. They never vanished, Krexos said. They were buried. A klaxon blared ahead, long and slow, followed by grinding machinery. A doorway opened at the far end of the corridor. Yellow light spilled out, cutting through the gloom. We have two choices, Ren said. Go forward and die. Or stay here and rot. I don't rot, Krexos growled, stepping through. The chamber beyond was vast, an underground forge crawling with repurposed mining bots dragging slabs of armor and welding mechanized limbs together. At the center stood a massive construct, humanoid but primal, a war golem cobbled from drills, cargo plating, and flame core processors. Human ingenuity, unrefined and furious. Is this their army? Ren asked. No, said a voice from above. This is our answer. Mira Halden stood on a gantry overlooking the chamber. Her coat was gone, replaced by a thermal battle rig, patched and burn-scarred. In her hands was no weapon, but a control core blinking green. You came to take. We build to survive. But now we build to end. Krexos lifted his pistol. You'll die first. No, she said simply. You already have. The lights dimmed. The golem stirred. Krexos fired. The shot hit Mira square in the chest, but her body flickered, collapsed into static. A projection. She's not here, Ren said, stepping back. This whole thing, it's staged. They've been monitoring us since the drop. The golem turned. Krexos roared and launched forward, but the thing moved faster than it had any right to. A drill arm swung with bone-shattering force, and Krexos barely avoided the strike, thrown against the wall. Ren opened fire, but the rounds bounced off the layered plating. The golem lunged, its claw caught Ren's leg, tearing it open. He screamed, dropping to the floor. You're wasting time. Myra's voice echoed through the chamber. That machine isn't meant to kill you. Krexos pulled himself up. Then what is it for? To hold you here. The chamber shuddered. Ice cracked. Far above, The rumble of collapsing infrastructure rolled like thunder. "You never landed in a colony," she said. "You landed in a prison. We just hadn't closed the door yet." The walls began to seal. The forge's exits folded inward, locking into place with finality. The golem advanced again. Krexos yanked Ren aside, dragging him behind cover. "We don't die here," Krexos growled. "We already did," Ren muttered, pale. Krexos slapped a stim patch to his neck. "On your feet. We're burning our way out." "There's no way out. She told us that." Krexos's eyes narrowed. "I don't care what she said. I'm not giving the galaxy the satisfaction of watching me break." He armed a grav grenade and hurled it at the golem's chest. It detonated with a crushing pulse, sending the machine stumbling. Krexos rushed forward, dodging debris, and leapt onto the machine's back. Clawed gauntlets tore into exposed wiring, yanking out coils and jammed servos. The golem shrieked, an unholy fusion of metal and pain. It thrashed, smashing walls and sparking cables. Krexos clung tighter. "You were built by fear. Let's see what fear bleeds like." With one final wrench, he tore free the core. The golem froze, then collapsed, a mountain of broken metal. Ren coughed from the floor. "So now what?" "Now we send a message," Krexos said, stomping toward a control panel. "If we're going to be buried, the galaxy's going to hear the sound." He activated the Forge's master uplink, patched into his own armor relay, and triggered a burst transmission. "This is Commander Krexos Varl of the Black Voltari. To any who hear this, Earth is not what we thought. Drask 9 is a tomb built by ghosts who learned how to scream." The uplink sparked, shorting out. Static filled the chamber. Then Myra's voice returned. "That's what we wanted," she said. "Now you've delivered it." "What? You think this was about killing you?" "No. It was about showing them what happens when you provoke extinction. You came here to break us. But now the galaxy has seen you fail. And that fear will do the rest." Ren slumped against the wall. "We weren't soldiers to them. We were bait." Krexos stared at the fractured golem, then at the dark tunnel ahead, now closed forever. "She wins," Ren said. "No," Krexos whispered. "She proves what humans really are." The floor beneath them vibrated again. Not from machinery this time. From deep, thudding footfalls. A second golem stepped from the shadows. Then a third. Above them, dozens of red lights blinked awake in the dark. Krexos didn't move. He just stood tall, bloody and defiant. "Come then," he growled. "Let me teach you how a mercenary dies." The forge roared. The machines charged. And the war beneath the ice began. Krexos moved like a dying animal, bleeding, hunched, but refusing to fall. Behind him, Ren crawled through the wreckage of the forge, his right leg gone below the knee, leaving a slick trail of blood on the frost-glazed floor. The golems had stopped. Not defeated, paused. Watching. As if the humans behind them were giving Krexos one last choice. Ren's voice was hoarse. "They're not finishing us. They want us to break," Krexos growled. A screen flickered to life above the chamber, static resolving into Mira Halden's face. Her expression was unreadable, tired, calm, not victorious. "Just done. You fought hard," she said. "Spare me the speech," Krexos snapped. "If you're going to kill us, do it." "No. You're going to live," Mira said. "That's the punishment." Krexos wiped blood from his jaw. "You think exile is defeat? You think shame lasts longer than fire? We don't need it to," she replied. "We only need it to echo." Ren coughed. "They broadcasted all of it. Didn't they?" Mira nodded. The galaxy watched as the Black Voltari screamed in the dark. They saw the strongest mercenary fleet silenced by engineers and scavengers. "That's enough. You didn't kill our fleet," Krexos said. "We didn't have to," she replied. "We killed your legacy." Silence settled, thick as frost. The golems powered down, stepping back into the shadows. Krexos stumbled forward, breathing ragged. This wasn't victory, he said. It was a trick. A trap. You knew the rules, Mira said. You chose the mission. You signed the contract. You thought it was just another soft human outpost. But we're not soft. Not anymore. Krexos laughed, a hollow sound. You play at war with drills and gas and ghosts. And still you lost, Mira said quietly. I'll tell the galaxy what you did, he snarled. We want you to, she answered. Go home. Speak of us. Tell them what happened in the ice. The chamber doors opened behind them. A long corridor stretched out, marked with lights, every few meters flanked by a single upright coffin-like structure, frozen statues of Voltari soldiers suspended in blocks of translucent crystal. You kept the dead? Ren asked, barely able to look. We keep the warnings, Mira said. So no one forgets what happens when Earth is threatened. Krexos lifted Ren over his shoulder and staggered forward. As they passed each frozen mercenary, he recognized names, ranks, killers he trained beside. No wounds. No damage. Just frozen, eyes wide open, caught in the moment of panic. A tomb of memories engineered with surgical precision. You wanted fear, Krexos muttered. You'll have it. No, Mira said, her voice softer now. We wanted peace. But since that was ignored, fear will do. They reached the exit. A small shuttle waited, non-combat, barely space-worthy, likely intended for short-range orbit. 2 seats, 1 rack of emergency rations, 1 weak distress beacon. You're letting us go? Ren rasped. No, Mira replied. We're sending you. Krexos lowered Ren into the shuttle and turned back. We'll return. I hope not, she said. Because next time, we won't build traps. What will you build then? She didn't smile. Graves. The hatch closed. The shuttle lifted into the dark sky above Drask 9, engines trembling from strain. Krexos stared out of the small viewport, watching the ice moon shrink behind him, a perfect white scarf floating in black. Ren coughed again, barely conscious. We shouldn't be alive. No, Krexos admitted. But that's what makes it worse. Are we still the Voltari after this? Krexos didn't answer. They reached orbit. The Ravager's maw was gone, no signal, no debris. Either buried, destroyed, or, more likely, erased. A tactical deletion. Earth's work. A new signal pulsed through the shuttle's console, encrypted, looping one image. Mara Halden standing beside a line of humans in salvaged armor. Behind them, a towering wall made of stacked Voltari helmets. The caption beneath was only 4 words. We're just humans, right? Krexos didn't look away. He let it burn into his memory, sear itself into the fabric of what was left of him. It would follow him into every hall, every council chamber, every mercenary negotiation table from now until his last breath. You think we lost everything? He muttered, more to himself than to Ren. But what you did, Mira Halden, was worse. You made humans unforgettable. Ren chuckled weakly. No one will ever land on Earth again. Krexos nodded once. And if they do, they'll dig their own graves before they draw their weapons. Far below, the mines of Drask 9 sealed for the final time. No beacon. No distress call. Just ice, cold, endless, silent. And somewhere within, the machines waited, quiet as a held breath. Because Earth didn't need fleets. Earth had memory. And it never forgot.